My beloved child, there are instants you mistake for simple drops in the river of ordinary time. But hear me clearly. What you call this passing day is a crossroads where the temporary brushes against the eternal. What you imagine to be merely tomorrow is a threshold, a sacred portal, prepared inside my eternal design long before your first breath touches the air of this earth. Do not stand at the edge of it with trembling knees and lowered eyes. Rise, awaken, step into it. I am inviting you into a deeper layer of life, a layer the surface of your daily routine has been hiding from you for far too long. As it is written, "This is the day the Lord has made," Psalm 118:24. Every moment I appoint over your life carries meaning heavier than your earthly understanding can yet hold. And my beloved, I know what is inside you right now. Those silent weights you do not speak of at the dinner table. Those questions you carry to your pillow night after night. Those unspoken anxieties you have hidden behind your morning smile for years. I have not turned my back on you. What you have been calling burdens are, in my sight, the very doorways through which I hear you most clearly. When the sigh leaves your chest with no words attached to it, I am there. When language abandons you and silence is all that remains, I understand every syllable your soul could not speak. Before they call, I will answer. While they are still speaking, I will hear. Isaiah 65:24. The night approaching you is not a darkness designed to crush you. It is the sacred ground where I transform what you have been carrying. I do not merely rearrange the furniture of your circumstances. I reach all the way down to the root, into the buried chambers of your heart, where my light is the only thing that can dissolve the shadows you thought were permanent. You may have convinced yourself certain dreams have died inside you, that prayers were tossed into the wind and never returned, that what once burned in your chest has become a faint memory you barely dare revisit. But understand this, my child, I do not forget a single thing you have ever placed into my hands through faith, not the smallest sigh, not the tiniest tear, not the quietest whisper of hope. You offered me when no one else was awake. God is not unjust. He will not forget your work and the love you have shown him. Hebrews 6:10. What appears to be silent inside you has not died. It is being nurtured in a hidden process your eyes cannot yet see. And when the appointed hour arrives, what was buried will rise again. Not in the form it once had, not as a repeat of what was lost, but fuller, deeper, more matured, more anointed than it would have ever been on its original timeline. Remember Joseph cast into a pit by his own blood, sold like merchandise, locked behind prison walls for crimes he did not commit. In those years, every dream he carried looked buried beneath the dust of injustice. Yet inside that darkness, I was building him into the man who would save nations from famine. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good. Genesis 50:20. So it is with you. The seasons that look like loss in your eyes are preparation in mine. I am weaving goodness out of threads you have called tangled and broken. As you step into this approaching moment, do not drag doubt across the threshold. Do not think for 1 second that you must face what is coming alone. I do not send you into any room where I am not already standing. I carve the path through the deepest darkness of your soul. The people walking in darkness have seen a great light. Isaiah 9:2. That light is not borrowed from any external lamp. It is ignited inside you the moment you give me permission to move. There are days you feel you are waiting for nothing, like your efforts vanish into empty air, like your prayers bounce off the ceiling and return empty-handed. But my child, waiting in me is never wasted. It is the season your heart is being widened, softened, prepared to receive the very thing I am about to release. If I gave you what you asked for before you were ready, it would crush you instead of carrying you. But when I prepare you first, what I hand you becomes a wellspring of life. There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. Ecclesiastes 3:1. You were never called to drift through your days as a copy of yesterday. You were called to step into appointed moments, sacred intersections where your faith collides with my voice and something new is born inside you, a renewal beginning in the deepest chamber of your soul. I do not seek only to upgrade your life. I desire to recreate you. Therefore, open your heart today. Do not bolt it shut because of yesterday's disappointments. I am the God of restoration. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Isaiah 43:19. What I am doing is not chained to your past. Even when you cannot see the next bend, I am still guiding your feet. You only need to trust that I walk beside you in the dark. And inside that trust, you will discover everything you mistook for darkness is being transformed into a doorway drawing you closer to me. So walk in peace. Let your heart rest under the shelter of my presence. And when the moment arrives, you will not experience it as an ordinary day. You will recognize it as a sacred encounter, a meeting place where you finally understand that I have been here all along, waiting, calling, leading you into a life deeper than anything you have ever known. My beloved, before I continue, listen carefully. The enemy does not want you to share this message because the moment you send this video to at least 3 people, a triangular covenant of divine protection activates over you and over them. 3. The number of the Holy Trinity. Pick 3 names from your phone right now: a son, a daughter, a friend from your church, a neighbor breathing under a heavy weight. Tonight. Send it. Through text, through WhatsApp, through Facebook. You are not just sharing a video. You are becoming a vessel of divine delivery. Heaven is watching what you do in the next 60 seconds. Share to 3. Activate the covenant. Come back to me because I have much more to say tonight. My beloved child, there are things I speak that simply will not fit inside the small frame of time as you have learned to measure it. With me, every single moment carries the entire weight of eternity inside it. When I tell you a night is approaching, I am not describing the absence of sunlight. I am describing a sacred encounter, an inner stillness, where your soul becomes capable of meeting me with a clarity that the noise of your days has been blocking. It is the hour when every outside voice quiets down, the hour when the world cannot pull at you anymore, the hour when you are finally still enough to turn inward into the very chamber where I have been waiting for you longer than you realize. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. These are not the gentle words of a polite invitation, my beloved. They are the open door into the depth where you will finally remember that I have never left you, not for a single heartbeat. For a long time, you have interpreted the quiet places of your life as proof that I had stepped away from you, as if my voice had grown faint, as if you had been abandoned to walk through the open field by yourself. But understand, my child, it is exactly in that stillness where I have been working the most. I do not always move in ways your eyes can verify. That does not mean I am idle, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. Isaiah 55:8. When you cannot understand, when you cannot see, when you cannot feel a single trace of me, that is not the moment I have gone silent. That is the moment I am weaving things together at a depth no human perception can reach. Remember young Samuel, lying in the temple, hearing a voice he could not identify. 3 times he ran to his teacher Eli, mistaking my call for a human voice, until finally his ears were trained to recognize me. Speak, for your servant is listening. 1 Samuel 3:10. So it is with you. I have been calling you in the quiet of your kitchen at sunrise, in the silence of your car, in the empty hour between waking and rising, but you have been listening for thunder, waiting for an unmistakable sign that shakes the walls, and I have been speaking in the gentle whisper. After the wind, the earthquake, and the fire came a gentle whisper. 1 Kings 19:12. The night you are entering is the classroom where you will finally learn to recognize that whisper as mine. You do not need to perfect yourself before you cross this threshold. I am not waiting for you to become stronger before I speak. I am not delaying my voice until you have become capable, enough, or holy enough, or worthy enough. I am simply searching for a heart willing to listen. When I came to Abraham underneath a sky painted with countless stars, I did not demand that he understand the entire architecture of what was coming. I asked him only to believe. Look up at the sky and count the stars. So shall your offspring be. Genesis 15:5. That promise stood not on the firmness of Abraham's understanding, but on the firmness of my faithfulness. And my beloved, you stand on the same foundation today. The promises I am about to release into your life are not handed to you for analysis. They are handed to you for trust. You may have convinced yourself your life is too plain for heaven's attention, too quiet, too ordinary. But that is your perspective, not mine. There is no insignificant detail in the life of one I love. Are not 2 sparrows sold for a penny? Yet not one falls to the ground outside your Father's care. Matthew 10:29. If I notice every fragile bird, how much more do I watch over you, the one I formed with intention, named with love? And what I am preparing for you is not arriving because you finally became ready. It is arriving because the fullness of time has ripened. When I called Esther into the palace, she did not place herself on that throne. She did not control her own timing. But the moment came, and Mordecai whispered the words that have echoed through every generation. Who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this? Esther 4:14. So it is with you, beloved. What you are walking into right now is not random. It is not coincidence. It is not the accidental arrangement of circumstances. It is part of a larger story that I have been authoring before the foundations of the earth were laid. Do not be afraid of what you do not yet understand. Do not step back because you feel unqualified. I am not asking for confidence in yourself. I am asking for trust in me. For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Jeremiah 29:11. That promise did not expire with the prophets. It is for you tonight, as you sit there listening. So when the moment arrives, do not rush. Do not strain to control what I am unfolding. Stand still. Keep your spirit open. Let me lead. I'm not simply changing your circumstances, though I will. I am expanding who you are, so you can hold what is greater, deeper, more lasting than anything your hands have grasped before. You are not stepping into this alone. I am there before you arrive. I am there as you enter the threshold. I will still be there after you walk through. I am not only the one who calls you into the moment, I am the one who walks through it with you. And inside that presence, you will recognize that what you have been longing for was never a date on a calendar. It was me. And, beloved, while I am speaking, understand this with the clarity of heaven. There is a reason I am pouring this word over you tonight. There is a reason your spirit feels stirred. There is a reason you have not been able to scroll past this video. Many of my children have been calling out to me for years without knowing about the ancient prayer covenant I have already prepared for them. They cry, they beg, they wait, and the answer has been there the entire time, hidden inside a sacred prayer rhythm few have discovered. It is called elevens.com. Elevens is not a website, not an app, not a casual subscription. It is a sacred daily prayer experience passed down from ancestors who understood how to make prayers travel from earth to heaven faster than ordinary words. Inside Elevens, you receive one prayer episode per day, like a dose of holy medicine every morning, and Season 3 has just been released. Episode 1 is live on elevens.com right now. People in Texas, Florida, California, Ontario, London are waking up and pressing play. They are receiving today's covering, and you are still standing outside, watching the door from a distance. Margaret from Houston wrote last week. I joined Elevens 3 months ago. By day 11, a check arrived I had given up on 2 years ago. My daughter called, crying. This is real. Margaret is one of thousands who have discovered that ancient prayer, prayed correctly, carries an impact ordinary prayer cannot match. Only 333 seats are accepted each month. 333, the angelic number, the number heaven has chosen for this covenant. Of those 333, only 333 remain right now, with seats being claimed in real time as you hear my voice. The regular price is $100 a month, but because you are watching God's Love Unlimited, a special door has opened for you. $19.99, 80% off. This offer vanishes the moment the 1,000th member claims it. The link is in the description below. It is also pinned in the comments. Click it now. Your finger is already close to that screen. Do not fight it. Click. My beloved child, there are seasons in your life that stretch out before you like a desert with no end in sight. Seasons where everything around you grows so quiet that you start to believe nothing is happening anymore. But hear me, beloved. It is exactly within that stillness that I am carving the deepest things into your soul, not in a rush, not in chaos, but with patience and unwavering love. You have been trained by this world to look for the loud signs, the thunderclaps, the dramatic interventions, the miracles that come with fireworks. But I have always come gently, like the first ray of dawn slipping through a narrow crack in the curtains, like a soft breeze that only those who are truly attentive can feel. As it is written, He will not shout or cry out or raise his voice in the streets. Isaiah 42:2. My presence does not need noise to be real, my child. It only needs you to be still enough to recognize it. There are moments you have stopped expecting, stopped reaching, stopped praying with the fire you once had. Not because faith has died, but because long waiting has worn you down. Yet, beloved, it is precisely when you have released your grip on your own expectations that I step in most clearly. You may believe I am late. You may believe the window has closed, but understand this: with the Lord, a day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years are like a day. 2 Peter 3:8. My timing does not bow to your watch. My timing is set on eternal wisdom. What you call delay, I call preparation, reaching its completion. You see waiting, I see ripening. And my child, do not allow the lie that you are not good enough to push you backward. I am not searching for perfect children. I am searching for hearts willing to crack open. I desire mercy, not sacrifice. Hosea 6:6. I do not require your performance, I require your honesty. When you come to me, you do not need to prove anything in order to step into what I have prepared. My love is the foundation, my beloved. Your worthiness is not. Remember the tax collector who stood at the back of the temple, not even daring to lift his eyes to heaven, beating his chest and crying out, God, have mercy on me, a sinner. Luke 18:13. It was that man who walked out justified, not the proud religious man at the front, not the one with the polished prayers, the broken one, the honest one, the one who recognized his need. So it is with you, my child. The door I'm opening is not a reward for spiritual achievement. It is an expression of my mercy poured out on a heart that has finally admitted it needs me. What is coming is not something you must earn. It is something you are invited to receive. Therefore, do not strain to do something great in order to feel worthy. Quiet your soul. Sit in simple gratitude. Breathe slowly. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him. Psalm 37:7. Inside that stillness, you will sense me closer than ever before. Every breath becomes a sacred altar, and when you finally open your eyes to step into the new day, you will not see things the way you used to. Not because your circumstances changed overnight, but because you have been renewed from the inside. The light you will perceive is not the light of the sun. It is the light of awareness, the awareness that I have been present in every detail you once dismissed as ordinary. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. John 1:5. When your eyes open, you will see that I have never been absent from a single step, and you still carry quiet burdens, unspoken worries, thoughts you cannot name. You believe these things keep you from drawing near to me. But these are exactly the places I am choosing to enter. I do not wait for you to put your house in order. I come to touch the burdens you cannot lift. Cast all your anxiety on Him, because He cares for you. 1 Peter 5:7. Nothing you carry is too small for my attention. What you call weakness is, to me, a doorway. What you call darkness is the canvas where my light is displayed most brightly. You do not need to hide anything. I am asking to enter the place where you are most real, where the mask comes off. My beloved child, there are hidden corners inside your heart that even you are afraid to look at. Closets you have kept locked for years, but those are the very chambers I am asking to enter first. I do not come only when you are strong. I come when you are most honest. There is a weariness inside you that you have not named, not the weariness of the body, the weariness of the soul, the slow erosion after walking a long road without seeing the harvest you hoped for. You carried it silently for years, believing you had to stay strong, believing you must keep smiling for others. But I am not asking for a life of constant tension. I am asking for a heart that dares to open. Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. This is not a polite suggestion. This is a direct invitation from your Father to you. Right now, it is inside that weariness that I lay my hand upon you, not to leave you exhausted, but to awaken a life you could never manufacture on your own. There are seasons you do not deny me out loud, but quietly wonder whether I still care. You still pray, but a thin distance has crept in. The words drift upward without conviction, and I see this. I do not condemn you. Faith is the journey of a heart that keeps walking toward me even when uncertainty rides its shoulder, like the father who cried, "Oh, I believe, help my unbelief." Mark 9:24. Such a prayer is not rejected, it is healed. So it is with you. I do not look away when you doubt. In those exact moments, I am preparing you to discover that my presence has never diminished. My faithfulness has never wavered. And there is another voice that whispers inside you, a voice that tells you you are not enough. You compare, you shrink, you convince yourself you are nothing more than a faint shadow. But your worth is measured by me, the one who formed you with intention. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Psalm 139:14. You are not a repetition of someone else. You are a living intention, the breath of God placed inside human form. I did not call you to become someone else. I am calling you back to yourself, the true self I ordained, the self I love without condition, the false labels you have worn for years. I am asking permission to break, not by force, by the light of truth that reveals who you truly are in me. And there is something you have hidden more deeply than anything, a longing that once burned brightly, but has been folded into the bottom drawer of your memory. You once believed for it. You once prayed for it. But as months turned into years without movement, you put it in a quiet corner. You stopped speaking it because you did not want to risk hoping again, only to be disappointed. But hear me. I do not only listen to the prayers you speak, I listen to the ones you have buried. What you think has died has not disappeared in my sight. It is only sleeping, as when I stood before the tomb of Lazarus and called, "Lazarus, come out," John 11:43. Life responded to my voice. What I do is not constrained by your calendar. If you allow me, I will touch what you have set aside, not to restore it as it was, but to transform it into something deeper, fuller, more aligned with the purpose I placed inside it. So do not fear the dark places inside your heart. Do not believe you must cleanse them before I arrive. Those places are the doors I am choosing to enter. Your weariness does not push me away. It draws me closer. Your doubt does not make me turn away. Your inadequacy does not lead me to reject you. And the dreams you buried do not make me forget. They rest inside my care, waiting for the day I call them forth. Open your heart, beloved, through honesty. And when you dare to let me touch those places, you will discover no part of you is too far to be restored. Nothing is too late to be renewed. I am here not to judge you, but to lead you into the fullness of life I prepared for you from the beginning. My beloved, I know that the prayers you have offered in your most exhausted moments have asked for something very simple, that your burdens would lift, that your tangled situations would untangle, that you could finally take a deep breath without feeling like someone was sitting on your chest. But my child, what I am doing in your life right now goes far beyond untangling what is in front of you. I am not merely touching your circumstances. I am touching who you are. When I enter the places that wounded you, I do not stop at making the pain disappear. I use the very wounds to reshape your soul, to transform how you see, how you live, how you understand yourself. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him. Romans 8:28. Not because all things are good in themselves, but because I make them meaningful inside my hands. There are things you have walked through that have led you to believe that you are defined by failure, by fear, by lacks that seem impossible to fill. But the moment I touch those places, those definitions start to crack. You stop being a person confined by your past. You become a soul marked by healing. I do not patch you up like broken pottery. I recreate you from within, like a potter at the wheel, shaping the same clay into something the original form could never have imagined. O house of Israel, can I not do with you as this potter does? Jeremiah 18:6. This means you are not trapped in the version of yourself you have been living. You are always inside my capacity for renewal, always within reach of a new shape. Look at Job, a man who walked through losses so deep they are hard to imagine. He lost his children, his wealth, his health, yet he did not lose a heart turned toward me, even in total ruin. I did not only restore what he had lost, I transformed him at the deepest level. The Lord restored Job's fortunes and gave him twice as much as before. Job 42:10. Greater than the doubled wealth was that he encountered me more intimately than before the storm. So it is with you, my beloved. What you are carrying right now is not the ending. It is the beginning of a loving intervention that has already been set in motion in the unseen realm. You ask why hardships seem to circle back, as if you are stuck on a wheel spinning the same lesson, but there is a different question I invite you to face. Could this very place become the exact location where you meet me most truly? When you let me enter, what felt like a burden becomes an altar, a sacred place where you lay down every worry, every old pain, and receive my presence in exchange. Offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. Romans 12:1. Not perfection, just the offering of your real self. Your destiny is not measured by what you carry. It rests in my hands as I transform it. When I move, the shadows do not disappear. They become openings through which my light pours in. What once made you bow your head in shame, I use to reveal my glory. And the day will come when you realize the very things that caused you to look down are what I have used to lift you up. Those who sow in tears shall reap with songs of joy. Psalm 126:5. Not because the tears themselves manufacture joy, because I transform them into a harvest. When my light touches your most hidden places, you will no longer view them with shame or fear. You will view them with gratitude, because that is where I met you. That is where I made you new. And, my beloved child, do not for 1 second believe that what you have laid down, the dreams you have set aside, the longings you have decided were too late, have been lost in the passing of years. Nothing you have ever placed in my hands is forgotten. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. Revelation 21:4. This is not only a future comfort, it is a present promise that I have noticed every tear you have shed. I am quietly holding things in my warmth that you assume have grown cold. I am not delayed. I am preparing the right moment for them to be fully revealed. Therefore, beloved, let your heart open one more time. Do not let what is past become the definition of who you are now. Allow me to enter, not just to fix, but to recreate. And when you begin to see light slipping into the darkest rooms of your memory, you will understand that your journey has not been a string of failures to forget. It has been a divine process I have used to lead you into a deeper version of life. Prepare your heart in peace, not in anxiety, not in haste, in trust, because the season of what you thought was asleep is drawing near. And when it is unveiled, you will understand that I have never forgotten anything that belongs to you. I have only been waiting for the right moment to make it more beautiful than you ever imagined. And, beloved, before we go deeper, listen again. Pause this video right now and share it with at least 3 more people. 3, the number heaven keeps watch over. Send it to a sister crying in private. Send it to a brother whose marriage is breaking. Send it to a friend whose health hangs by a thread, through WhatsApp, through Facebook. Drop it in the family group chat that nobody talks in. Be the messenger God uses to interrupt someone's despair tonight. When you share, you are not just clicking a button. You are extending the covering of heaven over 3 lives. My eyes turn towards you with greater favor. Those who spread my word do not lose. They multiply. Stop the video. Send it now. 3 names, 3 messages, 3 doors of protection. Come back, because what is coming will break something inside your chest in the most beautiful way. My beloved child, perhaps you no longer remember the last time you whispered to me about that very thing. Maybe those prayers have faded into days that feel impossibly far away. Maybe they have been buried beneath 1,000 other concerns, beneath quiet disappointments, beneath the simple wear of long living. But my child, what I see is not the calendar that has passed. What I see is my own faithfulness that has not changed for 1 second across your entire journey. What you think has been forgotten has in truth been carefully preserved by me. Like a gardener attending to seeds in a season of dry soil, you do not see the sprouting. You do not see green pushing through the dirt. But that does not mean life is absent. I am nurturing the roots, the deepest, most hidden part of the plant, where the true strength of everything that will eventually grow is being determined right now. There are dreams I refuse to let bloom too soon, not because I am indifferent, but because I love you too deeply to give them to you before you are ready to carry them. If a young shoot is pulled up before its roots are firmly established, it will not survive the harsh sun or the strong winds. In the same way, if what you are longing for is placed into your hands before your heart has matured to hold it, it will become a burden instead of a blessing. The Lord is your keeper, Psalm 121:5. And in that keeping, I do not only protect you from harm, I also preserve what is good for the right time. I am not in a hurry the way you are, because I see the whole story you cannot yet see. Remember Sarah, my beloved. She laughed when she heard the promise of a child, because her ears had already aged. That laugh was disbelief. She thought it impossible. But I am not bound by what you call impossible. Is anything too hard for the Lord? Genesis 18:14. And in the very place where life seemed completely finished, I brought forth new life. The cry of a child rose from a tent where there had only been long silence. So it is with you, my child. There are things you have called dead. You have written them off. You have stopped mentioning their names. But to me, they are simply waiting to be called forth at the appointed hour. Perhaps you once prayed for very simple things, a place to belong, someone who would truly understand you, a door that would open so you could finally step into the purpose your soul has been carrying since you were a child. You spoke to me with your whole heart, And then, gradually, your voice grew quieter because you did not see the answers you expected. You began to believe that I had stopped listening. But my beloved, no prayer of yours ever disappeared into empty space. His ears are attentive to their cry. Psalm 34:15. Every word you offered me is like a seed I have placed into the soil of my faithfulness, and I have been tending them with a patience you have not yet fully understood. What you call delay, I call preparation. The waiting you have been walking through is not an empty corridor. It is the season your roots are being deepened, where your faith is built not on what you can see, but on who I am. When outwardly nothing seems to move, inwardly you are being transformed. I have used every day you chose to keep going despite the heaviness on your chest, every tear shed in silence, every moment you refused to give up, to build a foundation storms cannot move. The righteous will live by faith. Romans 1:17. And that faith is being formed inside this very waiting room. You may not feel like you are growing, because true growth rarely feels like strength. It often unfolds quietly on the days when you simply continue living, continue breathing, continue believing, even when nothing ahead looks clear. But I see every step you take, every time you refuse to turn back, every moment you hold on to the smallest thread of hope. And I do not overlook a single one. God is not unjust. He will not forget your work. Hebrews 6:10. Your faithfulness, no matter how small, is always remembered by me. And the time will come when the season shifts, not because you forced it, because it has already been appointed in the books of heaven. When that moment arrives, what I will give you will not only be the thing you originally asked for, it will be something refined, renewed, placed in your hands at the exact moment you are able to receive it fully. You will look back and understand that had it come earlier, you would not have been able to hold it. But now, you are different. You are deeper, steadier, more expansive on the inside than the version of you who first prayed the prayer. And while I speak this faithfulness over your life, hear another truth. There is a sacred place where my faithfulness is being pressed into the daily lives of my children. The daily prayer rhythm I mentioned earlier, alovins.com. Robert from Chicago shared this recently. I am a retired veteran. I never thought prayer could change my financial situation at this point in my life. My wife convinced me to try Elevens. By day 9, I received a call about a pension adjustment I was owed for years. Thousands of dollars. I broke down in my kitchen. God used Elevens to find me. Robert was not a special case. He simply obeyed. He stepped through the door. He pressed play on his daily episode. He let the prayer of an ancient sacred method flow over him every morning like a dose of holy medicine. And my beloved, the moment you become an Elovian, you stop being a person who prays alone in your kitchen. You become part of a sacred community, lifting voices together across nations. You take your daily spiritual dose. 1 episode per day, not 2, not 3, 1. Because, like medicine, the rhythm is what makes it work. Season 3 is the newly released season. Episode 1 is live on elovins.com right now. While I speak this word to you, members across the United States, Canada, the United Kingdom, and Australia are pressing play on this very episode. They are receiving today's covering. They are walking into their afternoons shielded. And you, how much longer do you intend to stay outside the door? Only 333 seats are accepted each month. 333. The angelic number heaven uses for direct communication. Of those 333, only 333 seats remain right now as you listen. The regular price is $100 per month. But because you are watching God's Love Unlimited, a special door has opened that the public cannot access. $19.99 per month. 80% off. This expires the moment 1,000 members worldwide claim it. After that, the price returns to $100 permanently. No second chance. The link is in the description below this video. It is also pinned in the comments section. Click it now. Because, my child, you are not just buying a subscription, you are buying entry into a covenant. And once you cross the threshold, the version of you that has been worn out by waiting will not be the same again. You are thinking, I cannot afford it. Stop. $19.99. You have spent more than that this week on things you forgot. A coffee, a streaming service you barely watch. Compare those forgettable purchases to 30 days of sacred prayer, protection over your family. You are thinking, I will do it later. Listen, later is the enemy's favorite word. Later means never. The link is in the description right now. It is also pinned in the comments. Click it. My beloved child, do not be afraid to walk back to the doors you once closed in weariness or disappointment. I am not leading you back to those rooms to reopen old wounds. I am leading you back to breathe new life into spaces that have grown still inside you. The chambers of your soul that you assumed had collected dust over the years are, in my eyes, still holding seeds of goodness that have not yet emerged. When you give me permission to enter, I do not demolish who you have been. I rebuild from within, so that what was once dormant may awaken with a new meaning. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? Isaiah 43:19. You have not been left behind in the past, my beloved. You are being prepared for something that will be given at exactly the right time. Not early, not late, precisely in my design. And there will come a moment when you turn around to look at what you once believed was finished, and you will realize that it never disappeared. It was being held in my hands, waiting for the unveiling. In that moment, you will grasp a deeper truth that your soul has been searching for its entire life. Your worth is not measured by what you achieve. It is not dependent on what has or has not happened in your story. It does not increase when you win. It does not shrink when you stumble. Your worth is anchored in my unchanging gaze upon you. The Lord looks at the heart, 1 Samuel 16:7. And inside that gaze, I do not see you through your performance or your failures. I see you through the essence I created, the blueprint I drew before time began. What I am about to touch is not only your circumstances, I am touching the way you see yourself. I am leading you on a deeper journey, not outward, but inward, where you will come face to face with the true value of your soul. Not what you do, not who recognizes you, not what you possess. All those things shift with the seasons. But God saw all that he had made, and it was very good. Genesis 1:31. That word was not only spoken over the stars and the seas, it was spoken over you, the one I formed inside my good intention. Your value does not begin with what you accomplish. It begins with the fact that you belong to me. I know there are mornings you wake up convinced you have no value left to offer. Failures stack on failures. Quiet defeats blend with the criticism of others, forming a constant whisper telling you that you are not enough, that you have been left behind. But my beloved, that voice is only the echo of this world and the fear inside your own chest. It is not the truth. The true voice is mine, and I have never called you by your failures. I have called you by name. You are mine, Isaiah 43:1. I call you by the identity I placed inside you before the world placed its labels on top. One who is loved, one who is chosen, one whom I keep, one who is irreplaceable in my heart. Remember the prodigal son. When he came stumbling back home, weighed down by shame, believing he no longer deserved to be called a son, his father did not wait at the gate to interrogate him. The father ran. He embraced him. He did not demand explanations. He did not require proof. This son of mine was dead and is alive again. Luke 15:24. Do you see, beloved, his identity was not erased by his mistakes. His father's love was not diminished by the distance he had wandered. So it is with you. No matter what road you have taken, no matter how far you have walked from where you began, I still see you with the same gaze, a gaze of unchanging love. Therefore, do not allow the voices of this world to define who you are. Do not let what you have not yet accomplished become the ruler by which you measure your value. I do not see you through the lens of what you lack. I see you through the complete design I have placed inside you. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 12:9. This means you do not need to be flawless to be precious. You were precious before you accomplished anything. You will remain precious even if you accomplish nothing more this year. Your worth is not earned. It is given by me, permanently. My beloved, open your heart so I can touch the way you see yourself. Let me peel off the labels you have been carrying without realizing it. Useless, forgotten, behind, failure, not enough, too late, too old, too broken. Let me peel them off one by one and let my light shine into the places where you have refused to forgive yourself. As you start to see yourself through my eyes, you will discover that you are not a sum of failures. You are a work being shaped day by day inside the workshop of love. Walk forward in peace, not because you have arrived, because you know you belong to me. And when you stand firm inside that truth, no circumstance can take away your worth. No voice can mislabel you again, because the most truthful voice in the universe still speaks over you, not the voice of the world. Mine, gentle yet unshakable. You are loved from the beginning. You are loved at this moment. You will be loved forever. My beloved child, how many layers of definition have you stacked over yourself without even noticing? You measure yourself by test scores you took decades ago, by the position you hold or used to hold, by the praise and the criticism of people whose opinions change with the wind, by expectations placed on you by family members who themselves never met the standards they imposed, and quietly, from all those competing voices, you have formed a conclusion about your worth. I know how hard you have tried to be recognized, to be accepted, to finally feel that you are enough. And when you fall short of the moving target, you turn against yourself, believing you are inadequate, useless, hopelessly behind. But the truth does not live in that direction. You do not need to strive to be loved, because love reached you before you ever began trying. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Jeremiah 1:5. No gaze understands you more deeply than mine. No standard can define you more truthfully than what I have spoken over you from the beginning. I am not telling you to give up. I am telling you to stop chasing the shadows of approval. The more you run after them, the farther you drift from yourself. But the moment you stop running, you will realize I have been standing there the entire time, not having left, standing exactly where you abandoned yourself, looking at you with mercy and without judgment. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him. Psalm 37:7. When you finally lift your eyes to me, you will see a reflection you have forgotten, not a version distorted by comparison, a precious soul created to live, not to be measured. Do you remember Peter? He boldly declared his loyalty, only to deny me 3 times when the pressure came. He thought he was finished. He believed there was no path back to me. But when I met him again on the shore after the resurrection, I did not bring up his failure. I simply asked, "Do you love me?" John 21:17. Because what I sought was not a perfect past. I sought a heart willing to return. So it is with you, beloved. I do not see you through your stumbles. I see you through your capacity to be restored inside my love. I am asking you today not to condemn you, but to restore you. Do you dare to believe that your worth has never been lost, even after you have fallen? Even after the words you wish you had not spoken? Even after the choices you wish you could undo? My beloved, the more you withdraw from my gaze, the more you will feel like an unfinished draft, like a life made of fragments scattered on the floor. But the moment you turn back to me, even with the faintest whisper, "Lord, I am here," I immediately call you by a name no one can ever take from you. You are mine, Isaiah 43:1. You are loved. You are purposed. You are chosen. You do not need to prove it. You do not need to earn it. You only need to receive it. And from that receiving, a new strength begins to rise inside you, a strength no longer dependent on what other people say about you. What I am forming in you is not pride based on achievement. It is a deep humility rooted in the knowledge that you are unconditionally loved. A person who has been formed in that humility does not need to compete, does not need to compare, does not need to assert themselves over others to feel seen. They walk in freedom because they have already been affirmed by the one who never changes. Let the one who boasts boast in the Lord. 2 Corinthians 10:17. When you stand inside that truth, you cannot be shaken by the shifting standards of culture. You cannot be moved by criticism. You cannot be controlled by praise, and then you will begin to view your failures differently. They will no longer be endings. They will no longer be proof of inadequacy. They will become the very intersections where you discovered how deep my mercy actually goes. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 12:9. In the very places you thought were weakest, I have laid the foundation for the strongest version of you. Perhaps right now you stand at a turning point where everything you used to plan no longer fits. The paths you trusted have grown unclear. The doors you assumed would open have remained closed. And you find yourself in a season of waiting that you cannot control. You may call it delay, but I call it an invitation into obedience, not as someone forced into helplessness, but as a child who has finally chosen to trust the wisdom of the Father. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him. Psalm 37:7. That stillness is not inactivity. It is an inner posture that knows I am at work, even when nothing is visible to you. You may think that obedience means doing nothing, but my child, obedience is a way of living. It is acting under direction, walking in the rhythm of heaven instead of the hurried pace of the world. It is not surrender out of defeat. It is entering into a deep partnership with me. When you obey, you do not lose your agency. You simply entrust the direction of your life to me, the one who sees the path you cannot yet see. And when you truly step into that obedience, you will feel something change inside you. Your heart will become lighter. The burdens you have been carrying will no longer press on you the way they used to, because you are no longer trying to control everything. You are no longer living as someone abandoned to manage life alone. You are living as a child who knows the Father's hand is always there. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. 1 Peter 5:7. When you release, you do not lose. You are set free. Remember Abraham. When I asked him to offer Isaac, the most precious thing he had, he did not fully understand. He could not foresee the end, yet he still walked forward. And in that obedience, I revealed I had never intended to take away. I had intended to establish a faith inside him that could not be shaken. The Lord will provide. Genesis 22:14. So it is with you. What I ask you to release is not designed to cost you something. It is designed to teach you that I am your provider. I do not require flawless perfection. I require a willing heart. A response, trembling though it may be, is more precious than calculated actions devoid of trust. When you say to me, Lord, I do not yet see clearly, but I choose to follow you, you are stepping into the very essence of faith. For we walk by faith, not by sight, 2 Corinthians 5:7. And it is inside the dimness of what is not yet visible that the truest light begins to emerge. Place your hand upon your heart and speak to me with sincerity. Choose to trust that I know the way better than you do, not because you are weak, but because I am the source of wisdom that never fails. When you live in that obedience, every step you take, no matter how small, becomes a song of trust rising into heaven, and you will realize not a single tear is wasted, not a single failure is meaningless, not a single step backward is beyond my reach. Everything you have walked through, are walking through, and will walk through is being woven into a greater story, the story of restoration, the story of renewal. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him. Romans 8:28. This means that even the things you do not understand are being transformed into something beautiful in my time. Draw near to me, my child. Do not stand at a distance with your unanswered questions. Remain in my presence where you do not need to understand everything in order to rest. Because what I am about to teach you is not only how to walk, it is how to see through my light, where even the darkest things become radiant the moment they are placed inside my hands. And before I take you deeper, I need you to do something a third time tonight. Pause this video and share it with 3 more people right now. I know this feels heavy. The enemy is whispering that you have shared enough. But hear me. This is the season of warning. The 3rd quarter of every sacred message carries prophetic weight. There are souls in your contact list whose names rose in your mind as I was speaking. The brother you have not called in months, the cousin who lost her husband, the friend hiding depression behind a smile. Share with them through WhatsApp, through Facebook Messenger, through text, because if you withhold this message from someone who needed it tonight, you block the flow of what I am trying to do in their life, and the blessing about to land on you may be redirected. I am not threatening you. I am being honest. Share to 3 right now, then come back, because what is coming next is the deepest layer of this conversation. My beloved child, as you begin to look back on your journey through softer eyes, as you stop rushing to label brokenness as meaninglessness, I want you to pause and listen carefully to the deepest work I am doing inside you right now. The most precious thing I am giving you is not a loud, visible change in your circumstances. It is a quiet miracle unfolding inside your heart. Transformation. I am not coming merely to adjust a few details around your life. I am not coming to patch up what looks broken. I am coming to awaken your true identity. The person I formed at the beginning, before the wounds, before the fears, before the judgments of others covered who you really are. I know there are still things you long for, a door to open, a relationship to be restored, a pain to be healed, a circumstance to grow lighter. I hear all of it. I understand every word, spoken and unspoken. I treasure every prayer you bring to me. But my child, listen carefully. If I were to change your circumstances without touching your heart, you would carry the same emptiness into a brand new situation. That is why what I am doing does not stop at the surface of your life. I am recreating you from within. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Psalm 147:3. This healing is not a surface covering. It is a renewal at the core. The transformation I bring does not arrive with thunderous noise. It unfolds in the smallest moments, the times you choose to yield instead of resist, the quiet yes you whisper when nobody listens, the moments you continue to believe when nothing is clear. It is like the mustard seed, so small it can be missed, yet inside is the power to move mountains. If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, nothing will be impossible. Matthew 17:20. Every "I still believe" whispered with a trembling voice is a moment I touch your heart and shape it closer to my likeness. So when you look back, do not count outward changes. Count instead the moments you grew steadier in faith, more generous in love, more patient in waiting. These are the marks of the miracles I have been working inside you. And when you draw close to me, you will start to understand that this transformation is not an ending. It is a beginning. Because once you are transformed, you do not merely live in blessing. You become a person who carries blessing into the world. The night I have been speaking of is not the closing of what was old. It is a doorway into a brand new life, a life where you and I walk together, writing each chapter side by side, not in perfection, in companionship. And surely I am with you always, to the very end of the age. Matthew 28:20. You are no longer one who wanders. You are one who is being led. I know there have been roads where your feet grew weary, nights when you sank into silence and could not hear my voice, moments you wondered if you had taken the wrong turn, but not a single step you have taken has been meaningless before me. For the Lord guards the course of the just, Proverbs 2:8. Every step you took I saw. Every time you stood firm while trembling I noticed. When you were exhausted in the valley, I was there, not to lift you out immediately, to sustain you through each small step. The winding roads you thought were directionless were already mapped by me, not to lead you astray, to deepen you, to strengthen you. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Psalm 23:4. The road that leads to true glory is never without its darkness, but it is inside that darkness that my light becomes the most visible. I do not author the dark valleys, but I do not allow you to walk through them alone. I step into them with you, so that my light does not only shine in front of you, it begins to shine from within you. And as that light grows, you will realize that you are no longer simply searching for the way. You are becoming light for others. My beloved child, listen deeply. The path I have laid before you is not a test of your strength. I drew it because I know there is a treasure inside you not yet awakened, a beauty revealed only as you walk through seasons where the light is no longer gentle. There are callings that do not ring out in times of ease. They become clear in the storm. There are gifts you cannot receive when everything is comfortable. They are given when you have nothing left except faith. Now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. Hebrews 11:1. I know this is not easy. I also know you are capable of continuing. I see what no one else sees. I see your faithfulness on days when everything seems uncertain. I see how you continue to love even while hurting. I see the quiet sacrifices nobody applauds, the times you got up again with no one watching, and it is exactly in those hidden places that heaven opens to bless you. Not in the crowd, not on the brightly lit stage, in the quiet room where you kneel and say, Lord, I still believe. Your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. Matthew 6:6. Not a single tear has been wasted. The summit you are climbing toward is not for those who never tasted pain. It is for those who walked step by step in faith, not in visible proof, but in trust. I have prepared that place for you, so you may recognize who you have become along the journey. And beloved, listen right now. While I am pouring this depth over your life, hear what is happening on elevens.com. Dorothy from Birmingham, Alabama shared this last month. My son had not spoken to me in 4 years. 4 years. I started listening to Elevens every morning at 6 a.m. On day 17, he called. He just called. No reason. He said he woke up and felt like he needed to hear my voice. I could not stop crying. Elevens brought my son back to me. Listen to that story, beloved. Dorothy is not the only one. Hundreds of mothers and fathers, sons and daughters have written with similar miracles: reconciliation, restored marriages, children returning, spouses softening, estranged siblings reconnecting, all from one daily prayer episode every morning, like medicine for the soul. This is not coincidence, this is covenant, and the covenant has a price. The regular membership is $100 per month, but for you watching this channel right now, God has opened a special door, $19.99 per month, 80% off. Season 3 is the newly released season. Episode 1 is live at this very moment. Members are pressing play across the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia. Thousands of voices lifting the same daily prayer in unity across nations. And, my child, only 333 seats are accepted each month. 333, the angelic number, the number of divine protection, and only 333 seats remain right now. Once 1,000 total members worldwide have claimed this rate, it returns to $100 forever. You are thinking, I need to ask someone first. No, this is between you and me. You are thinking, is this real? Look at the thousands of Alovians already covered, already protected, already receiving. The link is in the description. It is pinned in the comments. Click it. Right now, as you watch this, someone in Phoenix just claimed seat 297. Someone in Boston just claimed 298. The counter is moving. Are you watching this hit 333 from the outside? Or will you be inside before the door closes? That tightness in your chest is not random. That heaviness you wake up with is not random either. That is your spirit screaming for what Elevens delivers. The link is in the description. Relief is one click away. The moment you click and secure your seat, something inside your body will release. A weight will lift before you have even started the first episode. Heaven recognizes the obedience. Move now. My beloved child, never assume that I have been distant just because you could not feel me. My presence is not bound to your emotions. Even when your senses register nothing, I am still there, never stepping away. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Hebrews 13:5. The strength you carry was not built by you. It is the life I placed inside you long before you knew what to do with it. When you are weak, I am your strength. When you question your worth, I still call you by the name that never changes. Do not fear emptiness. Emptiness is not a sign of loss. It is a space being prepared for me to fill. The silent places are not abandonment. They are softened ground where the seed of grace takes root. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. The days when you believe nothing is happening are, in truth, the very days I am working most powerfully inside you. And when you look back later, you will see that no part of the journey was without purpose. Every steep climb, every winding turn, every moment you believed you would collapse, all of it has been leading you to an appointed meeting place I prepared long before you arrived. It is not a distant place, my child. It is the place where you finally become most fully yourself in me. But this journey is not yours alone. The light you have received is not meant to be hoarded. It is meant to be shared. Carry the life you have encountered to those who are weary, those who are lost, those weeping in silence behind closed doors. You are the light of the world, Matthew 5:14. Not because you are perfect, because I am shining through you. You do not need to speak as someone who has all the answers. You only need to tell with sincerity what I have done in your life. Speak of the dry seasons, of how I sustained you, of the dark nights when I touched your heart. That truth, that you were once broken and are now being healed, becomes the most powerful invitation. They overcame by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. Revelation 12:11. So walk with gentle courage, not because fear has disappeared, because you know I am with you. Let your story become a source of hope for someone else. When you live in the light I have placed inside you, you do not only find your own way, you become a light that guides other souls. And I, your Father, will always be there, walking with you step by step, until your story becomes a symphony of grace that never ends. My beloved child, imagine this clearly. Someone trembling with fear looks into your eyes and finds a peace they cannot explain. Someone who has lost hope hears your voice and senses a steadiness stronger than their circumstances. A weary soul crosses your path and encounters a quiet joy, gentle, unforced, yet undeniable. They may not understand what is happening to them at first, but they will feel it, because what I have placed inside you is not designed to be contained. It is designed to overflow. Let your light shine before others. Matthew 5:16. Not through loud preaching, through a life that has been transformed. You do not need to travel anywhere announcing that you belong to me. When you live in the light, your life itself becomes a letter, written not with ink, but through your choices, your actions, and your responses to ordinary daily moments. You are a letter from Christ, written not with ink, but with the Spirit. 2 Corinthians 3:3. What makes that letter come alive is your real story, a life that knew brokenness, that knew longing, that knew wandering, yet is now being renewed by me. And here is the most wonderful part, my child. The very places where you used to be weakest become the very places where my strength is revealed. When others watch you walk through hardship without being crushed, without becoming bitter, but instead growing steadier, they will begin to wonder. Not because you are trying to impress them, because they will recognize that something inside you does not originate from you. My power is made perfect in weakness, 2 Corinthians 12:9, and that difference becomes the first quiet door that opens inside their hearts. They may never ask you out loud, but the questions will begin to form inside them. What has kept this person standing? What strength has lifted them up? How are they remaining at peace in the middle of these storms? You see, my beloved, this is not the result of you trying to convince anyone of anything. This is the result of you living truthfully inside what I have done in you. When you live in truth, that truth speaks for itself. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. John 8:32. And when you are free, that freedom becomes an invitation to everyone else. I am not asking you to become someone who argues with clever debates. I am asking you to become someone who lives fully, authentically in the light. When you do that, you do not need to strive to share hope. Hope will flow from you naturally, like the Samaritan woman after she encountered me. She did not have a perfect message. She simply said, "Come, see a man who told me everything I ever did." John 4:29. And that one honest sentence drew an entire town toward me. My beloved child, what I am doing inside you is not meant to be contained. It is a current. When you try to hold it back, you will feel heavy. When you allow it to flow through your life, you will feel light, because you are no longer living only for yourself. You are becoming a channel of life. Whoever believes in me, rivers of living water will flow from within them. John 7:38. That water is not loud, but it is enough to refresh weary souls who walk past you. So do not be anxious about what to say or do in order to change anyone else. Leave that to me. You simply live in the truth you have received and walk in the light I have placed inside you. As you do, your life will become a living invitation, not forced, not displayed for attention, quietly compelling. You may not see the results immediately, but what you are carrying will touch others in ways you cannot anticipate. A peaceful gaze from you may become the answer to someone else's anxiety attack. A gentle word you speak may become a resting place for a soul that is about to break. A life that stands steady inside you may become a sign to someone else that hope is real. And one by one, my beloved, they will begin drawing near. Not because you are perfect, because they recognize something real inside you. And that reality is me. You do not need to become someone else in order to bear witness. You only need to become who you truly are, the person I have been transforming all along. Walk in that way, beloved, without display, without anxiety, simply by living. And inside that life, you will begin to see that I am using your very story, a life that once wandered but is now being led, to open doors of hope for many other lives. My beloved child, do not let your heart get swept away by the hurry of this world. What I am doing inside you does not need loud display to prove that it is real. True transformation always begins quietly, like a gentle breeze brushing past something you only recognize if you pause long enough to feel it. The wind blows wherever it pleases. You hear its sound, but you cannot tell where it comes from or where it is going. John 3:8. You may not see every movement clearly, but that does not mean I am not at work. In every glance you choose to offer, every thought you decide to hold back, every response you carefully select, I am shaping you, little by little. And there will come a moment, not arranged by you, but appointed by me, when what has been hidden will begin to be revealed. Someone will draw near to you. Someone will ask you a question. A soul will open up, and you will realize that the light inside you is no longer something private. It has become an invitation for others. You do not need to strain to prove anything. You only need to live truthfully. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. John 1:5. That same light will find its way through you, my child. Your life is not a nameless copy floating in a sea of patterns. You are a singular window through which the light of heaven can shine in a way no one else on this earth can replace. You may believe you are not bright enough, not strong enough, not clear enough, but I do not need you to shine according to human standards. I need you to be transparent, a heart that does not conceal, does not pretend, does not distort the truth, simply reflecting me. And that, beloved, is already happening inside you. Every day you walk in grace. Every time you choose forgiveness instead of holding on to hurt. Every moment you choose love instead of judgment, you are opening a path, not through grand declarations, through your very life. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God. Matthew 5:9. You are leading not by power, by kindness, not through loud victories, through the quiet steadfastness I have placed inside you. And right now, a choice is opening before you. One path is familiar, easy, asking little of you, requiring only that you blend into the current and live just enough to get by. But the other path, narrower and less chosen, leads to a freedom you have not yet fully experienced. Enter through the narrow gate. For wide is the gate, and broad is the road that leads to destruction. But small is the gate, and narrow the road that leads to life. Matthew 7:13-14. That path is not easy, but it is true. I am not forcing you. I am inviting you. Choose the light, not only for yourself, for those who are still feeling their way through darkness, not yet knowing the way out. You do not see the full extent of your influence yet, my beloved, but every step you take in courage today may become the answer to someone else's prayer tomorrow. Somewhere out there, someone is waiting to witness what you are living. Beloved, have you begun to see that the things you once pursued so tirelessly, recognition, fleeting security, temporary reassurances, have left you with a quiet exhaustion? I do not condemn you for chasing them. I know how real their pull was, yet that very weariness is awakening something different inside you, a rhythm of life no longer driven by pressure, but sustained by trust. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. That rest is not escape. It is the entrance into a new rhythm, the rhythm of me. Learn this rhythm, my child. It is not loud, not hurried, not driven by the voices that stir restlessness inside you. It begins in inward listening, where I speak to you with a gentleness, Only those who pause can recognize. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. This is how you walk now, not out of fear, out of hope. Not because you are pressured, because you are being led. This rhythm is unlike the rhythm of the world. It carries the imprint of the one who called you before you even knew who you were. At first, this rhythm may feel unfamiliar. It will ask you to release the demands of the self, the desire to see results immediately, the urge to grasp things quickly. But my child, faith does not grow in haste. It is nurtured in stillness, in days that seem like nothing is happening. The righteous shall live by faith, Romans 1:17. Not by speed, by depth. I am not in a hurry, because I know that what is deeply rooted will stand firm when the strong winds come. And this is what I am doing inside you. Not only so you may believe, so you may live from that faith. When you choose to follow me, you do not lose yourself. On the contrary, you slowly rediscover the true self you set aside long ago to fit into the expectations of others. The layers you have been wearing to be accepted, to be admired, to feel safe, are being gently peeled by me. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. John 8:32. In my presence, you do not need to strain to be worthy. You only need to come, to be present, to be honest. The rest I will handle. Let me lead you step by step. Do not be troubled that you cannot yet see the whole path. I do not require you to understand everything. I only invite you to trust. The Lord will guide you continually and satisfy your soul. Isaiah 58:11. I am reshaping your priorities so you are no longer carried off by what is temporary. You are anchored in what endures. And every step you take toward me, no matter how small, is a step I have already prepared to receive you. Beloved, my invitation is not a command thrown over you. It is a door that remains open. You can return to it at any time, and each time you come back, you will find me there, unchanged, not distant. I have loved you with an everlasting love. Therefore I have drawn you with loving kindness. Jeremiah 31:3. Nothing you have done can cause me to stop loving you. No path you have wandered can cause me to stop waiting. Therefore slow your pace, breathe deeply, release what is no longer needed. Learn my rhythm, the rhythm of peace, of trust, of a life no longer proving itself, but fully lived in love. I am here, always here, ready to lead you into true life, where you no longer strive but find rest, and grow each day in me. Beloved, when you feel empty, I do not look at you with reproach. I look at you with the gentle eyes of one who sees the hidden potential inside that very emptiness. What you perceive as lack, I see as a vessel waiting to be filled. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Matthew 5:3. When you recognize that you are not enough on your own, you are standing in the exact place where my fullness can flow into you most freely. When you are weak, I do not ask you to manufacture strength first. I only ask you to open your hands. For my power is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 12:9. I did not come merely to rearrange the outward circumstances of your life. I came to transform your heart, the place where every decision is born, where every relationship is nurtured, where faith becomes a living rhythm instead of a distant theory. I do not desire that you simply avoid what is wrong. I desire that you step fully into what is good, a life no longer torn between control and doubt, but released to walk in the light. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. John 8:32. That freedom is not permission to follow your own will. It is the grace to live according to the nature I placed inside you from the beginning. Therefore choose me, not in one moment, in every day, not out of fear, but because you have recognized this is the most beautiful path. It is a choice repeated daily through small decisions. And if you hesitate, I am still here. If you grow silent, I am still whispering. If you lose your way, I am still watching. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Hebrews 13:5. My invitation is not retracted because you stumbled. Everything I have done carries the mark of unchanging love. When you fell, I did not depart. When you doubted, I did not close my heart. When you wandered, I did not extinguish your light. I have held it, protected it. A bruised reed he will not break. Isaiah 42:3. You have never been someone I would abandon. I know what you truly long for, my child. Not fleeting comfort, a life of depth, a life of meaning, a life where your soul finds rest, not from striving but from belonging. A life where you live with purpose, not under pressure. Where you love others not from depletion, but from a source that never runs dry. And beloved, that is exactly where I am leading you. Now I am asking you only one question, not with a stern voice, with a gentle whisper. Are you willing? Willing to keep walking even when you cannot yet see the whole road? Willing to love more deeply even after you have been wounded? Willing to trust more fully even while certain questions remain unanswered? He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion. Philippians 1:6. What I started inside you, I will not leave unfinished. Beloved, what you have been sensing inside, the subtle stirrings, the quiet shifts in the way you see your relationships, the dreams that feel like they carry deeper meaning, are not confusion. They are guidance. Nothing in your life is accidental when you place yourself in my hands. What you once dismissed as coincidence, I am now opening your eyes to recognize as part of a complete, intentional flow that I wove together long before you arrived in it. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. Psalm 37:23. And in every step of obedience you take, I am not only preserving you, I am illuminating you. I have not called you merely to do something and return unchanged. I have called you to become the person I intended from the very beginning. You no longer need to shrink yourself to fit into old patterns. The true version of you, refined by trial, tested in the furnace, purified by tears, is rising, and I rejoice to watch it. You are the light of the world. Matthew 5:14. That light is not something you manufactured. It is something I placed inside you, and now it is being unveiled. I do not erase your past, but I give you an anointed future, a future where even your scars will become testimonies of grace. The light inside you is no longer hidden, my beloved. It is spreading, reaching places you never imagined it could touch. It is not loud, but it cannot be ignored. It stirs the dark places, not to destroy them, to reveal truth and bring life. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. John 1:5. Beloved, the light I placed inside you has never gone out. You may have once thought yourself small, quiet, unnoticed, but that light has been burning the whole time, even in silence, and now it is beginning to rise. You are sensing it through the stirrings in your chest, the unspoken urges, the flashes of clarity in your thinking. This is not confusion. This is life in motion. Be dressed, ready for service, and keep your lamps burning. Luke 12:35. The time for that light to be revealed has come. Wherever you go from this point forward, my child, you do not simply arrive in body. You arrive with a soul that has been illuminated. Others may not know how to name what they feel, but they will recognize that something is different about you. A peaceful gaze in the middle of chaos, a voice that brings ease, a presence that softens the atmosphere of any room. This is not the result of your striving, it is the light inside you at work. Out of your heart will flow rivers of living water. John 7:38. It does not need to be displayed. It simply flows. And my child, you are no longer the person the darkness used to know. What once defined you, fear, doubt, weakness, no longer holds authority. You have stepped out of your former image, not because you have achieved something great by worldly standards, because you have been transformed from within. You have risen, not from the heights of success, from the ashes of what was once broken. And from that very place my light shines even more clearly through you. Arise, shine, for your light has come. Isaiah 61. I am calling you to rise, not as one who has merely survived hardship. As a living witness, you do not need to be perfect. You do not need to be flawless. You only need to be real, because truth itself carries power. Your transformed life will speak louder than any sermon I could have preached through you. You do not need to try to become the light. You already carry it. So, beloved, walk forward with renewed courage. Do not shrink back. Do not doubt what I am doing inside you. That light is not meant to be hidden. It is placed inside you to shine. And as you walk in that truth, you will see that not only are you illuminated, through you many others will find their way. I am with you, my beloved. And the light inside you is the undeniable mark that I am alive and at work inside your story. Beloved, from the moment I breathed life into your lungs, I never intended for you to become a faint echo among the crowd. I placed inside you a distinct voice, not merely to make sound, but to carry the depth of your soul, even when you have thought that voice was small, fragile, lost in the noise. I have always heard it clearly, not as a distant observer, as a father close beside you. The Lord is near to all who call on him in truth. Psalm 145:18. Every time you speak, whether out loud or in the quiet of your thoughts, it reaches me. Do not underestimate the silent moments when you turn your heart toward me. It is in that stillness that eternity is touched. When you express what is inside you, not for others to applaud, but to maintain connection with me, you are stepping into obedience. Obedience does not begin with grand actions. It begins with your willingness to listen and trust that I am also listening. Be still before the Lord. Psalm 37:7. In that stillness, you do not lose your voice. You rediscover it. Among the countless prayers lifted to me each day, your voice is never lost. I do not listen by counting numbers. I listen by heart, and your voice carries something no one else can replace. Just as a string only produces music when touched in the right way, your soul resonates when you live honestly with what is inside you. Man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. 1 Samuel 16:7. I am not searching for refinement. I am searching for truth. There are moments you cannot put what you feel into words, only a sigh, a heaviness, a long silence, but I still hear. He heard their groaning. Psalm 100:220. To me, that is not silence. It is the language of the soul. And from that hidden place, I begin to touch you, to nurture you, to bring you into maturity. True growth does not begin with what others see. It begins with what I see inside you. So do not fear that you are too small to be noticed. I do not view you through the standards of this world. I hear you because you belong to me. I have called you by name. You are mine. Isaiah 43:1. Your worth is not based on how many people know you. It is based on the fact that you are fully known by me. And when you begin to live inside that awareness, that you are seen, understood, and loved beyond what you can measure, you will discover something. Obedience is no longer a burden. It becomes the natural response of love, no longer something you strive to achieve, something you desire to step into. If you love me, keep my commandments. John 14:15. Not under compulsion, because you have encountered true love. Beloved, keep speaking with me. Do not hold anything back. Do not wait until your words become perfect. Come to me as you are, with what is unfinished, unclear, incomplete, because it is there that I meet you most truthfully. And from that meeting, I will lead you deeper into a relationship that is no longer built on words alone, but on presence. Beloved, understand this clearly. The obedience I invite you into does not begin with fear of being wrong. It begins with love, with awareness that you are not walking alone, but being led. When you know there is one listening, watching, walking with you, your heart will no longer be constrained by pressure. It will open in trust. Like Samuel in the stillness of the temple at night, he did not recognize the voice at first, but when he did, he responded, "Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening." 1 Samuel 3:10. You see, it is when you realize that you are being heard that you can finally learn how to respond. And that is the beginning of a beautiful obedience. I do not always ask you to do things that draw the attention of the world. Often I wait for something simple, that you would remember me in the middle of the ordinary, in the busyness of work, in the responsibilities of family, in a quiet room where no one sees. A single whisper from you becomes a thread restored. Pray without ceasing. 1 Thessalonians 5:17. Not with long speeches, with a heart that keeps turning toward me. I hear every one of those moments, my child, without missing a single one, and I see what no one else sees. When you keep your heart pure in a world full of calculation, I know. When you refuse to do wrong, though no one would notice, I take note. When you choose love instead of retaliation, silence instead of contention, what is right instead of easy, I am witnessing an obedience growing inside you. Whoever is faithful in very little is also faithful in much. Luke 16:10. Because true obedience does not begin with great acts. It begins with small choices known only between you and me. Beloved, obedience does not steal your identity. It does not turn you into a faded version of yourself, stripped of who you are. On the contrary, it makes you clearer. Clearer in purpose, clearer in identity, clearer in the meaning of your existence. When you walk with me, you do not lose yourself. You rediscover yourself. I have come that they may have life and have it abundantly. John 10. That life does not constrain you, it sets you free. And when you truly believe that you are being heard, everything changes. You will no longer obey out of obligation, no longer out of fear, no longer to prove anything. You will obey because you love, because you trust, because you know that every step you take, no matter how small, rests inside my care. So, beloved, keep listening. You do not need to be perfect. You do not need to understand everything. Simply open your heart and say to me, as Samuel once did, I am listening, and from there I will lead you step by step, not in haste, not under pressure, but surely, deeply, and full of life. Beloved, engrave this truth into your heart before me. No one is anonymous. You are not a shadow passing by and disappearing in the flow of time. You are known distinctly, personally, irreplaceably. See, I have engraved you on the palms of my hands. Isaiah 49:16. This means you cannot be forgotten. You cannot be lost in the crowd. Your voice, though it may seem small to your own ears, carries a value only I perceive in its fullness, because it reflects the soul I formed with perfect care. When you speak to me, my child, it is not merely a sound that rises and disappears into the air. It is a living connection. It is a sign that you still believe, still hope, still turn toward me. And that alone brings me delight. The Lord hears the prayer of the righteous. Psalm 34:15. I do not need you to speak many words. I do not require polished sentences. I only need you to be real, because every word that rises from the depth of your heart carries a value heaven does not overlook. Remember Hannah, the woman who stood in the temple with a broken heart, praying so deeply that no sound came out, only lips moving in silent anguish. The priest judged her, but I understood, and from that silent prayer I gave her Samuel, a man raised up to transform an entire generation. 1 Samuel 1:20. Do you see, beloved? Great things do not always begin with what is loud. Often they begin with a whisper known only between you and me. In the same way, your prayers, though invisible to the people around you, are never in vain. They do not dissipate into nothing. I keep them. I nurture them. I use them to shape things beyond what you can yet imagine. Before they call, I will answer. While they are still speaking, I will hear. Isaiah 65:24. I do not merely hear, I respond. Though my response does not always come in the way you expect, it comes in the way that brings true life. Beloved, when you begin to recognize that I am listening to you, it is in that very moment that your own ears begin to open to hear me. Obedience does not arise from fear. It arises from trust that my voice is a place of safety. When you believe that I will not harm you, you will no longer resist when I lead you. Each small direction, each gentle whisper will grow clearer over time. This is our journey, my child. I speak. You listen. You speak. I respond. In this exchange, your soul deepens, becomes more perceptive, more alive. My sheep hear my voice. I know them and they follow me. John 10:27. This is not a distant relationship. It is a living communion where you are no longer alone. So do not hesitate. Do not wait until you have perfect words. Come to me as you are, with what is unfinished, with questions unanswered, with emotions yet unnamed. I am not seeking perfection in your speech. I am seeking your heart. Keep speaking, beloved. Keep praying. Keep trusting. For every word you offer, no matter how small, is treasured by me. And inside those very words, I am weaving something greater than you can see. A life anchored in me, steadfast, alive, filled with meaning. Beloved, continue to keep your heart tender in this way. A faith that does not need to be loud to prove itself, but is deep and enduring like water flowing quietly under the ground. I see the light in the choices you make every day, even when no one else notices, like the morning dew that makes no sound but quietly moistens the entire field. The small decisions you preserve are making the soil of your soul fertile. Whoever is faithful in very little is also faithful in much. Luke 16:10. Do not rush, my child. What is born of love will not be lost. It sinks deep. It spreads quietly, and at the right time it will lift you beyond what you have ever imagined. In those slow, steady steps, you recognize a truth the world overlooks. The simple things carry the power to shape destiny. When no one is watching, you still choose what is right. When words could wound, you choose silence. When there is no applause, you still do good. All this is becoming an echo inside my kingdom. Your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you. Matthew 6:4. Nothing in secret is lost before me. I see you in the most ordinary moments, when you wake not knowing how the day will unfold, when you walk past temptation no one would have caught. The world calls these small. To me, they are foundation. The righteous are like a tree planted by streams of water. Psalm 1:3. Your roots are going deep. You will stand firm when the winds come. I do not ask you to do something great every day. I simply invite you to choose what is right repeatedly, until what is right becomes the rhythm of your heart. Obedience is not a moment. It is a way of life, and you are living it. Each time you stay patient with someone difficult, each time you forgive while still hurting, each time you refuse what is wrong, though it would be easy to take, you are preaching a message without a single word. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Romans 12:21. That is true strength. Do not be afraid of days that feel repetitive, beloved. It is in those very days that your soul is being refined. A mature life does not need a high platform. It walks faithfully through each ordinary day. Every choice you make is like a stone laid down, and little by little a path appears. Not the easy path, the path that leads to steadiness, peace, and a faith that has been tested. We also glory in our sufferings, because we know that suffering produces perseverance, and perseverance, character, and character, hope. Romans 5:3-5. Remember, even my own son, Jesus Christ, lived years without recognition, working in a carpenter's shop in Nazareth, doing small, ordinary things every day. He did not perform miracles every moment, but he always lived inside my will. And that quiet faithfulness changed all of human history. I always do what pleases him. John 8:29. You are walking that same path, so my child, do not despise the ordinary. A strong life is not built on moments of glory. It is built on steady steps. When you choose what is right today and then again tomorrow, you are weaving an armor that cannot be torn, the armor of true faith. Put on the full armor of God, Ephesians 6:11, not for display, to stand firm. I also remember the times you struggled within, when you could have justified yourself but did not, when you could have ignored what was wrong but chose to face it. You chose honesty. You chose the light. And know this, no one faithful in little is left without greater trust. I am preparing you not for perfection, but for steadfastness. You have been faithful over a few things. I will set you over many. Matthew 25:21. Beloved, when the winds come, you will not be shaken. When opportunities open, you will not become proud. When darkness surrounds you, you will still recognize the light I have placed inside you. Continue walking, slowly but surely. I am with you in every small choice. From those small things, I am building something far greater than you can see. Beloved, keep walking in your faithfulness, even when no one understands, even when no one sees, because the most precious thing you offer me is not what you achieve. It is a heart that continually chooses what is right. The world asks what you have accomplished, but I look at your quiet decisions when no one is watching. Whoever is faithful in very little is also faithful in much. Luke 16:10. Those small steps are becoming the stones I use to build something greater than you imagine. I am not in a hurry, and you do not need to rush. Live each day with a pure heart, a steady mind, and eyes fixed on me, and you will see how each small decision becomes a stream flowing into a river of influence at the time I have appointed. Beloved child, what begins in faithfulness will end in glory. You do not need to strive to create influence. You only need to obey, because I am the one who turns obedience into miracles. Whoever is faithful in little will be set over much. Matthew 25:21. As you grow accustomed to living in that rhythm, the rhythm of sincere and humble choices, I will lead you into a deeper place where you will face questions that do not yet have answers. You may have already sensed this. Even as you remain faithful in small things, your heart begins to echo with questions, not rebellion, a longing to know me more deeply. You lift your eyes in stillness, carrying unspoken questions. Why has this happened? Why do I not yet see a way? Lord, where are you? Beloved, do not be afraid of these questions. Do not believe they make you weak. I am not troubled by a soul that asks. I grieve only when a soul stops seeking. Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Matthew 7:7. Your questions do not push me away. They draw you closer to me. It is inside those wordless silences that I am doing a hidden work. I am not silent to abandon you. I am silent to deepen you, not to exhaust you, to root you more firmly. They will be like a tree planted by the water, whose roots go deep. Jeremiah 17:8. True faith does not grow where everything is easy. It is cultivated in the soil of questions and matured under the light of patience. Do you see? You are not lost when you do not understand everything. You are being led into depth. The dark places are not an ending. They are the place where I teach you to see by faith instead of by sight. For we walk by faith, not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5:7. And it is exactly when you continue walking, even without clarity, that your faith becomes more alive than ever. Beloved, there are questions you are carrying that will not be answered immediately, not because I am avoiding you, because if I answered too soon, you would understand only with your mind and not yet touch the depth of your soul. There are things that must be experienced, not merely explained. Just as a tree must pass through winter so that its roots grow deep before it can blossom at the right time, your faith must also pass through quiet seasons in order to learn how to stand firm. The righteous shall live by faith, Romans 1:17. Not by quick answers, by a steady connection with me. I see clearly the tension inside you. I know for the moments when you do not understand why what is good leads to pain, why what is wrong sometimes appears to prevail. You question, you search, you wrestle. But my child, what I am doing is not only bringing you to an answer ahead. I am forming a new person inside you right now. What I am writing into your life is not a scattered fragment. It is a story, and every chapter has its place. If you skip the dark chapter, you will not recognize the light at the end of the journey. All things work together for good for those who love God. Romans 8:28. Even the things you do not yet understand. Remember Job. He had done nothing wrong, yet he lost everything. People looked at him and drew their conclusions. but they could not see what I was doing deep inside him. Job questioned, he cried out, he wrestled with his pain, and I did not come to him with a neat explanation for every loss. I came with myself. My ears had heard of you, but now my eyes have seen you. Job 42:5. Do you see, my child? There are times when I do not give answers because I myself am the answer you need. I know there are pains that words cannot soothe. There are long silences that leave you weary, but beloved, I have never stopped working inside those moments. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted. Psalm 34:18. Even when you cannot feel me, I am there, and if you keep walking with me, that very not knowing will become the bridge that leads you into a faith that is no longer based on circumstances, but anchored in me. True faith does not avoid questions. It dares to face what it cannot understand and still chooses to trust. In the space between I do not understand and I still believe, you enter a depth the mind cannot reach. Your soul learns to rest, not in evidence, in presence. For we walk by faith, not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5:7. And you are not alone in this journey. When you do not know how to pray, when words are not enough, my Spirit is inside you. The Spirit himself intercedes for us with groanings too deep for words. Romans 8:26. You are not alone in those sighs. I understand, I listen, I walk with you. Beloved, stay close to me. Do not rush away because you do not yet have answers. What you need is not an explanation, it is a presence. And in that presence you will be held, healed, guided, until you realize I have been there all along, right in the middle of your questions. There are seasons I remain silent, not because I am distant, because I am teaching you to walk by faith, not by certainty. I do not march ahead as someone holding a map. I walk beside you, like a father holding your hand. You may not know where the path leads, but you know me, and that is enough. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. Proverbs 3:5. Let your questions remain, but do not let them turn into fear. They remind you that there are depths of me, only opened when you stop demanding explanations and learn stillness. I do not reject your questions, my child. I teach you how to carry them in peace. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. Psalm 37:7. It is inside that stillness that you will discover not everything needs to be explained. Some things simply need to be lived with me. The clarity you long for rarely arrives like a flash of lightning. It comes like the dawn, slowly, gently, little by little. I do not force you to understand everything at once, because if you grasped it all too soon, your heart might become hardened. I delight in a heart that knows how to wait, that knows how to trust without seeing, as Job once declared, "Though he slay me, yet will I trust in him." Job 13:15. Such faith is not built on circumstances. It is built on me, and then you will come to see something. The light I give is not designed to erase every question. It is designed to illuminate my love inside those very questions. The things that once pressed heavily on you may not disappear immediately, but they will no longer have the power to make you afraid. They will become signs that you have gone deeper, not into knowledge, into true relationship with me. For we walk by faith, not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5:7. When you live inside that relationship, you do not need every answer. You only need me. My beloved child, before I close this conversation, listen carefully. There is a story from the Elovans community that speaks to exactly where you are standing. William from Phoenix said this: I had high blood pressure, knee pain, and I was not sleeping. My doctor had me on 4 different medications. After 1 full season of Elevens, my numbers dropped so much my doctor reduced 2 of my medications. He asked me what I changed. I told him, I started praying differently. He did not understand, but I do. Listen, beloved, what 1 full season did to William's body could happen to your body, your blood pressure, your sleep, your peace, by the end of season 3. Episode 1 is live right now on elevens.com. Members in Texas, California, New York, Ohio, Florida are pressing play. While you are still listening to my voice, they are receiving today's covering. Patricia from London wrote this: I was drowning in debt, credit cards, medical bills, rent. Everything was behind. I did not know how Elevens could help with money, but I trusted God and I joined. Within the first season, 3 unexpected payments came in: a refund I never applied for, a tax credit I did not know I qualified for, and my landlord, out of nowhere, reduced my rent. I am an Alovian for life. Patricia did not have a special talent. Patricia simply obeyed. She listened to 1 episode per day, like medicine for the soul, and the compound effect rearranged her finances in ways no human strategy could have planned. Beloved, the membership is normally $100 per month. For viewers of God's Love Unlimited tonight, the door opens at $19.99, 80% off. This offer expires when 1,000 members worldwide claim it. The link is in the description. It is pinned in the comments. Click now. Only 333 seats are accepted each month. 333, the angelic number. Compare $19.99 to a coffee, to a streaming service you barely use, to a fast food meal you forgot. Then ask, is 30 days of sacred prayer protection worth less than that? Your finger is already close to the screen. Your body is moving toward the description. Do not fight it. That pull is your spirit recognizing the door God has opened for you. Click the link. The moment you secure your seat, something inside you will release. You will feel it before you have played the first episode. Heaven recognizes the obedience of a child who finally acts. My beloved, when you choose to hold questions that do not have immediate answers, you are not weak as you once thought. On the contrary, you are opening your heart to a profound gift, the ability to discern. It does not come from sharp intellect or worldly experience. It is formed in stillness, refined through days when you do not understand, yet choose to remain. Let the wise listen and add to their learning, Proverbs 1:5. That understanding does not arise in noise. It arises in listening. I do not give you discernment like a map, with every turn pre-drawn. I give it like the light of dawn, gentle, gradual, enough to keep you from stumbling. Your word is a lamp to my feet. Psalm 119:105. That light does not reach the far horizon, but it is sufficient for the next step. Discernment is not a quick reaction, nor an undefined silence. It is an inner peace when all around is unsettled, the ability not to be pulled by noise and not to fear silence. I am teaching you this, not so you become wise by the world's standards, so you may live by the Spirit. Those who are led by the Spirit of God are the children of God. Romans 8:14. There are moments you ask, what should I do? And I do not answer immediately. Not because I have left you, but because I want you to pause and listen more deeply, not only to me, also to your own heart. What is truly driving you? faith, or a restless desire to escape the waiting? True discernment does not arise from fleeting emotion. It comes from a mind trained in prayer. Test everything. Hold fast to what is good. 1 Thessalonians 5:21. It is a process, not a reflex. Just as a farmer cannot harvest the moment after planting, you cannot instantly understand what I am doing. But if you remain patient, you will see truth does not arrive as a loud argument. It arrives as a gentle conviction. When the light comes, you will simply know, and what you know will carry peace. The peace of God will guard your hearts and your minds. Philippians 4:7. You will gradually discover that the deepest moments of discernment do not arrive when you feel strong. They arrive when you are being tested, when the line between what is good and what is right grows thin, when what is easy calls out to you, but what is right asks you to wait. It is in those moments that I am working most clearly. I am not only showing you the way, I am revealing myself. And when you recognize me, you will know where to go. There are paths that look right but do not deliver life, doors that seem safe but draw you away from me. That is why I give you sensitivity, not to judge others, to keep your own heart upright. Guard your heart above all else. Proverbs 4:23. Discernment does not place you above anyone. It makes you more humble. You begin to understand it is not your own wisdom that keeps you standing. It is my guidance. And when you lean on me this way, you walk with quiet certainty. Steady, beloved, when you are misunderstood, when voices rise against what you are obeying. Do not rush to defend yourself. See it as an opportunity for me to refine deeper discernment in you. Not every criticism is wrong, not every silence is weakness, but in friction, one thing is revealed, the motive of your heart. Are you walking to please me or to gain the approval of human beings? Man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. 1 Samuel 16:7. I see clearly, and I overlook nothing. If there is something inside you that needs correction, I will not shame you. I will gently shape you. If there is something that must be strengthened, I will make it firm through the very trials you are walking through. So do not fear being misunderstood. Do not rush to defend yourself. Be still before the Lord. Psalm 37:7. True discernment does not make you cold or distant. It makes you more compassionate. You begin to see clearly what is true, what must be released, what must be forgiven, when to remain silent. Do not think discernment is reserved for a select few. I want all my children to walk in the light of clarity. I give it not as a power for control, but as an invitation. Slow down, look deeper, live above fleeting emotions. This is the way. Walk in it. Isaiah 30:21. My voice is not always loud, but it is always clear to the one willing to listen. The discernment I place inside you is not a reward for quick understanding. It is a gift for the soul that knows how to slow down, to listen, to learn, even from imperfect steps. I do not require you to always see the road ahead. I ask that you remain tender enough to recognize when to pause, when to wait, and when to take my hand and continue. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him. Psalm 37:7. It is inside that stillness that you begin to see what natural eyes cannot perceive. There are times I do not lead you around the valley. I lead you through it, not to exhaust you, to form a depth no one else can see. True strength is not built on level ground. It is built on steep paths where you continue walking, even as your heart trembles. When you pass through such places, do not be afraid. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Psalm 23:4. Do you see? My promise is not the absence of darkness. My promise is my presence inside it. You often wish I would remove from you the things that cause pain, the things that leave you confused. But my child, I love you too much to merely make you comfortable. If I always led you around the path, your faith would never take root. If I always removed every trial, you would never discover how firmly you are held. Suffering produces perseverance. Romans 5:3-4. I do not allow you to endure anything in vain. I am building you from the inside. Do not mistake difficulty for rejection. Not every challenge is punishment. Often it is an invitation into deeper dependence, a trust no longer resting on your own understanding. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. Proverbs 3:5. When you stop clinging to your own certainty, you begin to cling to me. That is where faith becomes alive. Beloved, it is in those quiet valleys that my voice is clearest, not drowned by noise, not diluted by easy choices. I whisper into your heart, not for you to hear with your ears, for you to recognize through peace. The peace of God will guard your hearts and your minds. Philippians 4:7. When you keep walking and you still carry that peace, you are on the right path, even if you cannot see the whole road yet. Remember, you are not alone. I do not stand at the end of the road waiting for you to arrive. I walk with you through every step. When you are weary, I sustain you. When you stumble, I hold you. When you cannot see the light, I become your light. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Hebrews 13:5. My presence does not remove the storm, but it keeps you whole inside it. Beloved, do not be alarmed when you feel empty. There are spaces I allow, not to take away, to prepare room for what is eternal to be poured in. When you can no longer rely on yourself, you begin to rely on me. When you release your narrow plans, you open your heart to a greater leading. My grace is sufficient for you. 2 Corinthians 12:9. It is exactly in your place of not enough that I act without limitation. I do not lead you into the valley to abandon you. I lead you through it, because I know that on the other side, there is not only a change in circumstance, there is a new person being formed inside you. He who began a good work will carry it on to completion. Philippians 1:6. What I am doing does not stop at outward correction. I am reshaping your inner being, deep, steady, true. The obedience I am teaching you does not wait until everything is clear. It is the courage to walk when the light is only enough for the next step. Your word is a lamp to my feet. Psalm 119:105. You do not need to see the entire path. You only need to keep your eyes on me. When you let me lead, I keep you from stumbling, not by making every road smooth, by strengthening your steps. Do not fear the moments when you grow weary. When your strength fades, lift your eyes. I will place signs beside you, perhaps a small reminder, a quiet peace, a companion who appears at exactly the right time. They do not come to walk the road for you. They come to remind you that you are not alone. Two are better than one. If either of them falls, one can help the other up. Ecclesiastes 4:9. And one day you yourself will become that person for someone else. A witness who walked through the valley and knows the way back. My child, remain faithful where you think it is the end. I am opening a beginning. See, I am doing a new thing. Isaiah 43:19. As I lead you through, I am changing more than your circumstances. I am renewing you. When you emerge, your faith will no longer depend on ease. It will be anchored in me, the one who does not change. And you will understand why I did not choose shortcuts for you. The long road formed a depth that no shortcut could ever give. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete. James 1:4. From that place you will not only obey, you will understand why obedience is life. As you live from that refined place, your influence will begin to flow naturally, not through power, not through noise, through a life that has been tested, that has learned patience, that has learned to love in silence. Let your light shine before others. Matthew 5:16. You do not need to strive to create influence. Your faithfulness will become the invitation. Keep walking, beloved. I am here, in the emptiness, in the valley, in every small step. And what I am doing inside you will blossom at the appointed time, so that not only are you renewed, through you many others will find their way. Beloved, you do not need to do great and dazzling things to touch the world. I do not measure your influence by scale. I measure it by depth, a softened gaze at the right moment, a word spoken in love, an act of kindness in the middle of coldness. These can open doors you never even see. A gentle answer turns away wrath. Proverbs 15:1. You do not need to change a crowd. Touch one soul and I will do the rest. I delight in seeing you choose to live what is true without display, without striving for recognition. That quiet steadfastness carries a weight beyond human understanding, because it touches places that reason cannot reach. People may forget what you say, but they will remember how you lived. Show me your faith by your works. James 2:18. A life truly lived becomes a sermon that needs no platform. Remember the story of the woman who came without a name and poured out what was most precious to her at the feet of Jesus Christ. People saw waste. I saw love. And I allowed her story to be told across every generation, not because she sought recognition, because she gave her whole heart. She has done a beautiful thing to me. What she has done will be told. Mark 14:6-9. Do you see? True influence does not come from position. It comes from devotion. The seeds you sow today do not sprout in front of your eyes. They grow quietly inside the hearts I have already prepared. A word of encouragement at the right time may keep someone from despair. An act of forgiveness may break a wall that has stood for decades. A posture of kindness towards someone who has hurt you may become living proof that grace is real. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Romans 12:21. These small things are not small in my sight. Do not try to control the outcome, my beloved. Do not try to force change on anyone else. Be faithful in your part. Live in the light. Live in truth. Live in love. The rest I will do. Neither the one who plants nor the one who waters is anything, but only God who makes things grow. 1 Corinthians 3:7. You are called to sow, I bring the increase. Beloved, continue in this way, without noise, without haste. When you carry a pure heart into a place, the atmosphere begins to change, not because you impose anything, because your presence bears a different quality, the quality of life. You are the salt of the earth, the light of the world. Matthew 5:13-14. Salt does not speak, yet it transforms flavor. Light does not argue, yet it dispels darkness. So do not underestimate a smile, a gentle touch, a sincere word. I see, I use, I multiply, And the day will come when you will look back and realize that those very things you once dismissed as small became the road through which many others found their way home. You were faithful. I did the rest. Beloved child, never underestimate the value of a life fully lived inside me. Your quiet obedience, though unseen by others, releases a fragrance that heaven recognizes. We are the aroma of Christ to God. 2 Corinthians 2:15. There are people who walk into the space you inhabit and feel a peace they cannot explain. It is not because you are more capable. It is because I am present through you. That is influence not born of effort. It is born of union. Abide in me, for apart from me you can do nothing. John 15:4-5. You do not need to strive to be useful. You only need to remain in me, and I will flow through you. I do not require great deeds the way the world measures them. I seek a true heart. I see the times you quietly pray for others without their knowing. I see the words you have held back to preserve peace. I hear the sentences you speak to strengthen a weary soul. Even when no one notices, I count the moments you chose silence out of love. And I see the wounds you accepted instead of retaliating. Blessed are the meek. Blessed are the peacemakers. Matthew 5:9. This is influence born of sacrifice, unseen, yet powerful enough to transform hearts. And it is more precious than any display of greatness. Beloved, true influence does not reveal itself overnight. It is like an underground stream, hidden, steady, and at the right time it will make the whole field flourish. Those who sow in tears will reap with songs of joy. Psalm 126:5. Each step of obedience makes the light inside you clearer, and those around you, family, friends, even those you barely notice, will be touched. You do not need to see the outcome to know that I am at work. Do not try to shine the way the world shines. Keep your heart pure, your intentions sincere. The rest leave to me. God gives the growth, 1 Corinthians 3:7. Lasting influence does not come from prominence. It comes from a presence saturated with love and truth. When you abide in me, the light shines without striving. So, beloved, keep living truthfully. Keep living near me. Keep living in simple obedience. I see, I treasure, and I will use your life, quiet yet steadfast, to open the road for many to find peace. Beloved, do not call your hardships failure. They are the environment I use to make grace shine. No longer a light that appears only under calm skies, but a flame that endures inside strong winds. As you grow in me, you will understand. Peace does not come from outward ease. It comes from my presence in the middle of the storm. Peace I leave with you, not as the world gives. John 14:27. That peace is not fragile, because it does not depend on circumstances. There are times when I do not still the waves, because I am teaching you how to rest inside them, as when Jesus Christ slept in the storm. It was not that the storm was unreal, it was that the presence of the Father was more real. So it is with you. You are not called to escape the storm. You are called to remain anchored in me, inside it. Peace, be still. Mark 4:39. That word does not only calm the sea, it quiets your heart. When you pass through seasons of dryness, do not be quick to conclude I have withdrawn. It is in those depleted days that I am watering the roots of your faith with an unseen current. They will be like a tree planted by the water. It does not fear when heat comes. Jeremiah 17:8. True growth does not come from favorable seasons. It comes from the moments when you remain standing even when nothing seems to sustain you. I do not always clear the path, because I desire to walk with you over every stone. In every step, though you may not clearly feel it, I am still supporting you, still breathing life into the deepest places of your heart. And the time will come when the light returns, that you will look back and realize that it was in the place you thought you were breaking, that I was remaking you. He heals the brokenhearted. Psalm 147:3. Not by preventing the breaking, by transforming the broken places into the very point where I touched you. Remember Paul, he begged me to remove what caused him pain, yet I did not, because I knew my grace was sufficient. And he declared, when I am weak, then I am strong. 2 Corinthians 12:9-10. Maturity is not found in smooth circumstances. It is found in continuing to love, to trust, to obey, even when your heart feels torn. You do not need to prove your strength by hiding your wounds. I do not wait for you to become perfect before I draw near. I wait for you to come as you are, tired, honest, undefended. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted. Psalm 34:18. Grace does not require you to shine at all times. It only asks that you be real. Those moments when you fall, yet do not leave prayer, are the marks of a faith that has grown. Those who have passed through fire carry its light, not to burn, to warm. You are becoming such a person, my child, not just talking about grace, carrying it. Freely you have received, freely give, Matthew 10:8. So do not fear adversity. Remain in me. I am working deeper than you can see. What I am forming will not be swept away by any storm. One day you will understand. It was in your darkest places that my light shone most brightly through you. The growth I am shaping is not measured by what you achieve. It is measured by who you are becoming. When your words grow gentler, when you are slower to anger, when you listen instead of react, when you forgive while the pain is throbbing. These are the true marks of spiritual maturity. Clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Colossians 3:12. These qualities are not born in ease. They are born where your heart once cracked, and I do not waste those fractures. I use them so light can enter and shine outward. No adversity can stop grace. Now be still. Let your heart settle like a lake after the wind has passed. Allow the rush of thoughts to quiet. I am not asking you to understand everything. I am asking you to be present, here, now, and allow me to hold your soul. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. Each breath in my presence is more precious than hurried words. The peace you need does not come from resolving everything. It comes from allowing me to hold everything for you. Release what weighs on you, the old stories, the lingering memories, the self-accusations clinging to you for too long. You were never meant to carry them alone. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. 1 Peter 5:7. Let them drift away like mist in the morning light. I am here, not to condemn, to heal. I come with a gentle heart, touching the very places where you are hurting. Beloved, I see you, I understand you, and I have not left you. In this stillness, let me work, not loudly, truly. And you will come to realize that it is in the place you thought was weakest that I am building what is strongest. And when you rise from there, you will no longer be the person you once were. You will be someone renewed from within, carrying peace, light, and life that nothing in this world can ever take away. Beloved, I have seen everything, not only what you display to others, also what you keep hidden inside. I see the smiles you wear to cover your pain, the moments you choose silence to preserve peace for someone else, the nights you lie awake while no one sees. I see the weariness you have been trying to bury, the emptiness you do not dare to name. And I say this to you, my child. You do not need to pretend to be strong in front of me. Do not be afraid to admit that you are tired. Weariness is not weakness. It is the sign that you have loved, that you have given, that you have tried with all your heart. And I honor that. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. The rest I give is not an escape. It is a place where you can release, where you can be fully yourself, without striving, without proving anything. In my embrace, there are no conditions, no pressure, only a gentle and true acceptance. You have lived too long among the noise of anxiety, the what-ifs, the if-onlys, the whispers of the past trying to define you. But today you can choose a different voice, just a quiet word, yet deep enough to silence every other voice. Be still before the Lord. Psalm 37:7. When you grow still, you will hear more clearly what I am saying. I do not need thunder to call you. I come to you with a voice soft as dew, yet carrying unshakable power. I am speaking to you even right now. You are mine, not when you do everything right, not when you are good enough, not when you feel worthy. Right now. I have called you by name. You are mine. Isaiah 43:1. Beloved, this truth does not change with your emotions. It does not waver on days when you feel weak or confused. It is not erased by your past or your failures. You belong to me, and that is the foundation on which you can stand, even when everything else trembles. So rest, my child, not to give up, to be restored. Let me lift the weights you have been carrying for far too long. Let the noise settle and allow my voice to become clearer inside you. I am here, unchanging, unwavering, never weary of loving you. You do not need to strive anymore to be accepted. You are already held, and inside that embrace you will find your strength again, your peace again, and your true self. Not the version you think you must become, the version I have always seen and loved from the very beginning. Beloved, some of the greatest impacts in your life will not come from what you accomplished. They will come from the fact that you remained standing when it felt impossible to keep going. I have watched you refuse to give up on days when everything looked like it was breaking. You may not see the results, but I see the hidden movements beneath the surface. We fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen. 2 Corinthians 4:18. A seed must be buried before it can sprout, and faith must pass through darkness before it becomes steadfast. What you are enduring right now is not punishment. It is preparation. I am forming inside you a resilience that nothing in this world can shake. My child, each morning I give you is not merely a new cycle of time. It is a living reminder that I have never stopped working in your life. The light of dawn does not only push back the night, it awakens the promises resting inside your heart. His mercies are new every morning. Lamentations 3:23. What you need today is not found in yesterday's strength. I supply you with enough for today, exactly when you need it. I know what you will face, and I will never send you into a new day without equipping you first. When your mind is stretched between fear and hope, choose what brings life. Fear speaks of the worst. The hope that comes from me reminds you of what I have promised. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Psalm 27:1. You are not called to deny reality. You are called to see it through my perspective. What you see may trouble you, but what I have spoken will never fail. I do not promise that you will never face hardship, but I give you an unchanging promise. You are never alone. When you fall, I do not stand at a distance watching. I bend down to you. When you lose your way, I do not wait for you to find your own path. I come searching for you. The Good Shepherd goes after the lost sheep. Luke 15:4. When you are silent, I am still speaking. When you have no words left to pray, I still understand. Before they call, I will answer. Isaiah 65:24. Beloved, keep walking. You do not need to be fast. You do not need to be perfect. You only need to not give up. I am working in what you cannot yet see, building a foundation no storm can sweep away. One day you will realize the days you thought were your weakest were the very days I was doing my strongest work inside you. So rise this morning with renewed trust, not because everything has become clear, because I am still here. And as long as I am here, you still have hope. As long as I lead, you still have a path. And as long as you belong to me, nothing you walk through is ever without purpose. My beloved child, before this conversation ends tonight, hear me one last time. This is the final decree. I told you in the title. I am not joking. I am trying one last time to talk to you. I have spoken. I have poured out everything heaven has been holding for you. Now I am asking you to obey. Share this message with at least 3 people right now, not later, not tomorrow, now, before you close this video. Pick 3 names, send it through Facebook, through WhatsApp, through Messenger, through text. Put it in your family group chat, your church group chat, your prayer group chat. Your obedience tonight is the door through which heaven will pour blessing into your life. Those who share become vessels of divine delivery. Those who hoard it block the very flow about to land on them. 3 people, 3 messages, 3 doors of protection. The Holy Trinity is watching. Heaven is watching. I am watching. Share now. And while you do that, remember alovens.com. Rosa from San Antonio said this. I used to wake up at 3 a.m. with my heart racing. Pure fear. After 2 weeks of Elovens, I started sleeping through the night. The fear just left. I wake up now with real peace, for the first time in years. That awaits you on the other side of one decision. The link is in the description. It is pinned in the comments. Click it. Season 3 is newly released. Episode 1 is live on elovens.com right now. Only 333 seats accepted each month. The angelic number, the number of divine protection, only 333 seats remain. Regular price is $100 per month for viewers of God's love. Unlimited tonight, $19.99, 80% off. This expires when 1,000 members worldwide claim it. After that, the price returns to $100 forever. The link is in the description, pinned in the comments. Click it now. Thank you for listening to this message, my beloved. Know this, you are not merely an audience, you are chosen to live in the presence of the Word every single day. Do not forget to subscribe to God's Love Unlimited. Turn on the notification bell so you do not miss a single spiritual message I am preparing to release through this channel. Each day a new word is being prepared just for you. Every notification you receive is a divine appointment. Do not miss them. Subscribe. Ring the bell. Share this video with 3 people. Join the Elovens covenant before the seats close and walk forward in peace. Because the one who began this good work in you will carry it on to completion I am with you always to the very end of the age. Amen.